nearly 43 years, Sheri Jo Elliott's family has been left wondering who killed the 16-year-old in November of 1983. Thanks to advanced DNA technology, a man has been identified. Michigan State Police say 75-year-old Ronnie Collins, who lived in Grand Blanc, killed Elliott. MSP says Collins died by suicide in January. His DNA was collected during the autopsy, and it matched evidence recovered from Elliott in 1983. As you can imagine, this is a major development for the family as they finally know who killed Sheri Jo Elliott after all these years.
I see her all the time in my head. I can see her walking in the door and giving me a hug and saying, "Hi, Aunt Judy." It's just been so long.
Sheri Jo Elliott will always be 16 to her Aunt Judy Sika. Judy often goes back to November 16, 1983. It was the day Sheri walked to the bus stop on her way to school and never made it home. Judy says Sheri had just moved to Flint after living with her father in Charlotte.
And she decided she wanted to go back to her mom's, so she went back. But I often wondered if she'd have stayed here another 2 or 3 months. Maybe she'd still be here.
Sheri left her home on Seneca in Flint that morning around 6:30. She walked to the bus stop at West Dartmouth and Clio Roads. That was the last time anyone saw her. For days, people searched for the teenager.
It was terrible. But we went and passed missing signs to everybody, in the neighborhood and in town, and stores would put the missing in the windows.
After 4 days, the family received the unthinkable news. Sheri Jo Elliott's body was found in a Blumfield Township ditch in Saginaw County. She had been sexually assaulted and shot multiple times.
What a terrible thing it is in your mind when they tell you they found her body. That was awful.
And then not knowing who did this haunted the family.
We did all lose hope. Unfortunately, we did.
That hope was restored after Sheri's mom, Joyce, called Judy and told her the case had been solved.
You got to be kidding me. They actually found the person that killed her.
Sheri's family now has the answer they spent almost 43 years longing for. But there are other families who long for that day when they find out what happened to their loved one.
Don't give up hope if you've got anybody that's missing, or just don't give up hope, because it's there.
A key part in helping solve this mystery were college students. They're part of the cold case program at Western Michigan University, and they worked with state police detectives to find the answers.
I was like a similar age to Sheri, and so it just it kind of hit home, and I really wanted to be a part of it.
As juniors at Western Michigan University, Ella and Christian both worked to help solve the Sheri Jo Elliott case.
I think it was just really a very meaningful thing to be able to come into this case, investigate it, and just bring closure for the family.
Michigan State Police detectives took students on the path they believe Sheri took all those years ago.
It was incredibly meaningful, I think, for the students to see, these details about the case that the public usually isn't allowed to.
Dr. Ashlyn Kirsten is the director of the cold case program at WMU. She says her students sifted through thousands and thousands of documents in the case, digitizing them so law enforcement could use them out in the field.
Then they create things like timelines and family trees. They can do open source research on, say, deep dives on a person or a place. They can do interactive maps, whatever the detective finds most helpful for his or her investigation.
Everything they do is confidential. They're not supposed to talk about the case with family or friends. They knew about the breakthrough and who killed Sheri nearly a month before it was released to the public.
I'm very proud of my students, very proud. And I'm just thrilled that Sheri Jo's family can finally know some closure. That's got to be a relief.
The WMU cold case program has helped solve other cases throughout the state. Students are accepted into the program by applying. Then they get fingerprinted through MSP and also go through a background check and get trained.